I want you to be honest with yourself and answer the following question. Do you truly know what you want to do with your life? If the answer is yes, congratulations. Follow your path, study what you need to study, get into the job that you want to work. Your life is amazing and you've managed to do something that a lot of people are unable to do, and that's to figure out what they truly want to do with their life. But if the answer is no, I want to ask you another question. Where's the point in rushing it? Where's the point in rushing a life just because you're scared of what other people will think about you? You're scared of being judged for doing something that perhaps is not that common, that you're taking time to figure out who you are. I can tell you one thing right now, there's going to be no benefit in trying to hide this true self of yours for a career path, for example, that you think is appreciated more in society, but in reality will kill you inside. It's funny, but a lot of people who rush into institutions like university, mainly out of the hope that that will bring them true success in life, are the ones who end up struggling with this topic the most when they're in their 30s or 40s and 50s and so on. I mean, there's even evidence in behavioral science that shows that when you set goals that are not aligned with your values, you are less motivated to pursue them. And that just results in less productivity, less success in the thing that you were doing because it's just not that meaningful to you. And why would you want to be in such a position? Why would you rush yourself to be in such a position even though it's not necessary? You can't tell me that you do not have 1 or 2 years where you can just work part-time to finance a temporary life where you discover new things, where you travel to places, educate yourself on all different kinds of subjects, ranging all the way from neuroscience to psychology, philosophy, finance, and so on. So basically where you do the things that are necessary to understand who you are, what things you actually prioritize in your life, and as a result, what your true values are. This is so incredibly necessary in a day and age where basically everybody just stands for nothing, right? Everybody's turning to the same person, is becoming less of a human and more of just a productive workhorse. Is that what we are trying to avoid? And I know, perhaps your family or your friends around you are all going down a traditional path, a conventional path. Perhaps a lot of your family and your friends, when they were your age, already figured out exactly what they wanted to do. But to be honest, even though that's quite unlikely, but they may give the impression that they've got their shit figured out, and that's why you feel more pressured as a result, and then force yourself to do things you actually don't want to do. You become self-conscious, right? The chances right now for you to create a life that is tailored to your best interests will never get higher than this. The probability will just go down because the older you get, the more responsibilities you have. So don't rush things if your survival doesn't require it, because if you do, you will end up pursuing things for the wrong reasons. As a result of that, you will end up living a life that is not aligned with your best interests. And that is, I think, one of the most painful things a person can go through. Because it's not something that's just transient. No, it's something that lasts forever. And the older you become, the harder it is to get out of it. For example, this is one of my biggest fears, which is why in the last months and years I've been studying so many different things, educating myself on so many different topics, and working in all these different kinds of environments to understand what do I value, what people do I want to be around with, and what actually gives me this high level of fulfillment. And you see this everywhere around you, right? All the successful business owners, all the successful lawyers, doctors, they're all good in the things that they're doing because they're truly aligned with who they are. They love doing the thing that they're doing. And because of that, so many other people's lives are able to be improved. Man, if there's one thing we all want in this life, in this world, is it not to connect with other people? To have a smile on your face because you know you did something good for another person, to know that you were at service for the other person and it worked out. It's bittersweet, right? Because a lot of us do work, a lot of us are at service for other people, but yet we don't feel fulfilled because we just don't feel the impact that we have, either because the work that we do is not involved directly with other humans, or because to us it's just not meaningful. And that, I think, is making our lives much harder than they need to be, and is a result of a lot of people just rushing through life and trying to get to the path of least resistance, which over the long term is the path of eternal pain. But yeah, you can let me know what you think about this. I wish you a good day or evening, depending when you're watching this. The only thing I could say is stay committed to your dreams, never give up, and never compare yourself to other people. Everybody has their own story, and we'll see each other soon. Peace.